Coming to you from deep inside the bowels of a great big empty. Get ready for another episode of The Home Defense Show with Skip Coryell.
Okay, folks, this is Skip Coryell on Home Defense Show. Now, there's something a little different. Phoenix, get a shot of these snowflakes coming down. Just point the camera up. Look at the size of those snowflakes. They're like baseballs coming down. Oh, look at this one. You can catch them right on your hand right there. See that? That's like one snowflake. It's October 30th. We're here in Michigan the day before Halloween, and we've got like snow all over just giant snow, like snow meteorites. It's just terrible. And I'm freezing to death. But today on the show, we're gonna talk about the gun that I carry. The gun that I carry, why I carry it, why is it so big, you know? It's a serious gun, and I wanna talk about that today on the Home Defense Show. But first, let's go in and get some hot chocolate, then we'll head down to the man cave, and I'm gonna show you my gun. I love my gun. Okay, here we are, back inside where it's safe and warm and dry, and I've got my hot chocolate. Look, my John Wayne coffee mug. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, and right now, a man's got to talk to you about guns. So, what do we got? We got hot chocolate. This is hot cocoa, real hot cocoa. It's good. Not much sugar. This is tough man's hot chocolate. It's tough. All right. I've got two guns that I carry. Every once in a while, I'll carry my M&P shield. Okay. If I'm feeling like a wuss, I'll go ahead and I'll carry a shield. This is cleared, obviously. Slides locked open. You know, nothing up my sleeve there. But most of the time, and this is a good gun, don't get me wrong. If you want deep concealment, if you want comfort, this is a really good gun. This is a really good trade-off between, you know, accuracy and comfort, you know, magazine capacity and comfort, all of that stuff. Everything's a trade-off, right? You know, but I love this gun, and it shoots pretty good. But this is what I carry every day. You notice it's a little bigger. Okay, this is the Smith & Wesson M&P Performance Center model in 9mm. Is it as good as a Walther Q5? Probably not. I mean, having said that, I'll probably never get a sponsorship by Smith & Wesson now, but it's the truth, all right? We're gonna clear this nice and clear. Nothing up the magazine well. Lock the slide back. It is empty, okay? Now, you notice the difference between these two guns. The size. These are a lot different. This one's about 20-25% smaller than this one, okay? So, it's got a shorter barrel. It carries an 8-round magazine instead of a 17-round magazine. One of my biggest fears in life, and you can call it paranoia if you like, I don't care, is running out of ammunition. I don't want to run out of ammo. If you're going to be in a gunfight, you don't really know if you're going to have, if you're going to need 5 rounds or 1 round or 27 rounds. You don't know, because you don't get to pick your gunfight. So I want to make sure I've got enough rounds to do the job, which of course means I've got this big double stack magazine, holds 17 rounds, but it's full of lead, so it's heavy. So yeah, this is a pain in the butt to carry. It really, really is. It's harder to conceal. It's a pain in the butt to carry. It's heavy. But it holds 17 rounds, 17 plus 1. So I've got 18 rounds that I can work with, all right? This one also has a ported barrel right there, and I need to clean that. It's got a ported barrel. That reduces the recoil a little bit. Makes it a little louder as far as a little more muzzle flash, a little louder right up close. But in a gunfight, that's a secondary concern. I've added something to this. This is not a stock trigger, okay? This is an Apex flat trigger. This thing costs $200, okay? $200 just for the trigger. It's not a trigger job. This is a special Apex flat trigger. It has hardly any take-up. That's all the take-up it has right there. Hardly any take-up, hardly any slack. And then you hit the wall, but the wall isn't that big, right? I always get paranoid when I'm pressing a trigger inside a cement room. You know, I hit the wall right there, and there's like hardly any trigger press. I haven't measured it. I think it measures out to like 3.5 pounds of trigger press. But the important thing to me is that when I press this trigger, the front sight doesn't move. Okay, that's real important to me. You know, I drive out, I catch the red dot, I start my trigger press, and the muzzle doesn't move. Okay, that's real important to me, because 90% of accuracy is the way you apply the flesh of your finger to that trigger and press slow and steady directly to the rear without moving the front sight. And this flat trigger, you know, it's not as rounded as the stock trigger that came with this Performance Center 2.0 model. It was a good trigger. You know, it was a really nice trigger, but it was a little more rounded. And I put my finger on it a little differently, and I just got a little more muzzle movement when that shot broke. Okay, and when you're talking about precision shots, a little is a lot. Okay, especially when we're talking about precision shots at longer distances. And for things like church security or police work, you might be taking those longer shots. So, you know, and we'll talk about that in a video later on. Okay, we're gonna do some shooting at 10 feet, then we're gonna do some shooting at 75 feet. We're gonna show you shot groups and tell you, you know, the geometry of all that. But that's later on. For right now, basically, you know, it's a beautiful gun. I love it, and it's affordable. Okay, basically $600 for this gun. $600, and you've got a gun that shoots really well. It's got a high magazine capacity with the trigger job. It's got a great trigger on it. You know, this is the kind of gun where you can shoot one ragged hole, you know, at 10 feet, okay? That's someone who isn't that good can shoot one ragged hole at 10 feet. Now you move out to 20 feet, you gotta do some practice for that, okay? But that's really what you need. Something you can shoot one ragged hole at 10 feet because you need to be able to take that precision shot sometimes. Now, also, what else? This big chimney thing that's coming up on the back, what is that? Well, that's a Trijicon RMR red dot sight, okay? I love this Trijicon RMR red dot sight. I don't know if you can see the dot down there. Can you see the dot in there? There it is. I saw it just for a second. There it is. That's the red dot. Why do I want that red dot sight? Well, Gabe Suarez from Suarez International sold me on red dots. I did all the research on it, and I listened to everything he had to say about it. And we got several interviews for Home Defense Show just on red dots sights with Gabe Suarez. Go back and listen to those. They're fantastic. But, man, I'm 62 years old, okay? 6'2". But that's only middle age if I'm going to live to be 112. But that issue's in doubt. Okay, but anyways, I don't want to get off on a rabbit trail. I'm 62 years old. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. And I noticed that the front sight isn't as crisp and clear as far as the outline goes as it used to be. You know, and it's hard to notice that it's happening because it happens just a tiny bit every day, right? You know, it's like we're dying, okay? But it's slowly, all right? And life isn't too bad. So, especially in low light conditions. In low light conditions, boy, that front sight just seems to fade away. But that red dot, you saw the red dot. That sucker is bright, okay? And I can make it bigger or brighter or dimmer. Okay, what I found is that for the long range shots, you know, I can make it a little brighter or a little dimmer. Same thing with the short range shots. Now, for everyday carry, I have it somewhere in the middle. Okay, because when I pull up, I want to be able to see that red dot right away. The sight itself is $600. Okay, I've seen them for like $459 on eBay or Amazon or wherever. Not Amazon, yeah, maybe Amazon. But you know, if you shop around, you can get a better price for that. But shop around, $600 for the gun, $600 for the sight, $200 for the trigger. I got $1,400 in this gun. Why do I do that? Because my life is worth it. Okay, my family is worth it. I mean, people they'll run out and they'll buy a $200 High Point or, you know, a little Kel-Tec or something with, you know, 5-6 rounds. They jam it in their pocket and say, "Okay, I'm safe." You're not safe. Okay, there are different levels of safety. Are you telling me that your little Kel-Tec is going to outshoot this gun? No, it's not going to. That little Kel-Tec is not going to outshoot this little gun. Okay, it's not going to do that. Okay, so you got to factor all of that in. How much is your life worth? Okay, certainly the Shield is a lot more comfortable and it's easy to carry. And if that's all you're willing to do, then carry the Shield. Okay, carry the Shield. But if you're willing to go the extra mile, get something that shoots really, really well. Because the bottom line is, a gun will never outshoot its capabilities. Okay? Longer sight radius, longer barrel, higher magazine capacity, heavier, less felt recoil, ported barrel. All of those things, this is a joy to shoot. It's beautiful to shoot. Okay, this is an incredible gun to shoot. So I recommend it. I really recommend it. It's a great gun. You know, next year I'm saving up for another gun. But don't tell my wife that, okay? She doesn't know. So I'm saving up for a gutter snipe package from Schweiers International. They've got this Glock Model 19. It's got the Trijicon RMR sight. It's got a shaved down grip. It's got all kinds of fancy stuff. One of the Gabe Schweiers famous triggers, match grade slide, match barrel, all of that stuff. I can shoot good with this, but I get one of those, I'll shoot even better. Don't skimp on your gun, folks. Don't get the best that you can afford. I mean, if you can only afford a High Point, then get a High Point. Just practice a lot, okay? But if you can afford something like this, get it, because the gun does matter. It really, really does. So, I guess that's about all I have for you today. This is the gun I carry, Performance Center, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 series, ported barrel, Trijicon RMR sight. Awesome, awesome, awesome gun. So, got any questions about that? Send me an email, skipcoryell@hotmail.com, or go on Facebook, comment there. But I'll answer any questions that you have. And I think next week we're going to go ahead and we're going to try that one ragged hole at 10 feet. Then we're going to go out to 75 feet, see how the geometry works on those long range shots and on those 10-foot head shots that we have to make. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, firearmslegal.com/Midwest Tactical, should you ever have to use this fine firearm to protect yourself or your family. And then, if you want to know how to use this sucker, go to SchwarzInternational.com. All right, sign up for one of Gabe's classes. I'm doing it this winter. I'm heading down to Arizona, and I'm going to check that out. You want to go, give me a call. And then also, Center Shot Indoor Gun Range, right? You need a place to practice, especially with all those snow meteorites outside. Now is the time to go to Center Shot. I think I might go today. Or go hunting. One of those two. All right, folks. This is Skip Coriolan Home Defense Show. I want you to stay safe, protect your family, the ones you love. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye, boys!
Have fun storming the castle!